Going to do an insight video today. Yesterday I was sitting there, I was just doing a bit of a meditation, and I was using a few crystals to try and clear my energy centers. Obviously, all these kind of things are important to do. These kind of things, as tools, once again, to come back to oneness, come back to that source energy, that source light creation, keeping our consciousness high, keeping our awareness high, and also entering the eternal moment, which is where we become light and energy. And all of this is connected to oneness. And yesterday, when I was sitting there doing this meditation, I saw this like infinite waterfall, and it was sort of like a gushing sort of water, that was sort of like, like a, I don't know, like Victoria Falls or something, like the massive sort of like water coming down. And I was sort of like trying to link into this yesterday, link into sort of what was this meaning spiritually. And again, when I've talked about this, and I've talked about this concept of inspired action, which is the universal law and correspondence, which is being in your light. Intuition like that is coming from a higher place. It's coming from your higher awareness. It's coming from your higher self. It's information being sort of like, first of all, sort of coming from sort of source like creation, but it's also it's filtering through your higher self that is open to this expansion of energy and knowledge and wisdom and consciousness. And this waterfall to me felt sort of like it talks about like waterfalls being a change of direction, but for me it was like this infinite energy that's flowing through the moment, the infinite energy of the universe, not or like the source like creation that's flowing through, and us opening up to it. And again, when you're in oneness vibration and you're in oneness frequency, it's not just about a singular thing. Although this was sort of like in a meditation, or like was it in like I was getting this impression, and like this sort of like, this seeing this in my like consciousness. I feel it's very much for many of us. It's like this infinite flow of like cleansing, purifying, and an infinite flow of source like creation coming into the planet, coming into each and every being, and it's working with us to sort of heighten our vibrations, heighten our frequencies, heighten our awareness, heighten our consciousness. So once again, we're coming back into this oneness flow. It's very powerful, this energy. The energy was very powerful. The sort of like this waterfall, and it was white water as well. So it's like white is very much around sort of like, again, purification. It's very much around sort of like wisdom, knowledge, consciousness, and it was all symbolic of that. It's like this infinite sort of like I keep saying, flow of consciousness, infinite flow of energy that's coming in for all of us at the moment, and we're all being sort of replenished with it. We're being opened up to it, and again, this is an example of that eternal moment, and the oneness vibration and the flow of consciousness and energy and vibration and frequency that's coming in for each and every being. Again, it's sort of like I feel like I've been given this staff again. So the staff is sort of like symbolic of being guided, and being guided with this information, being guided with this inspiration. But this like I said, this flow is for all beings. The other vision I had was like a massive mountain range, with snow-capped mountains in it. And again, this is sort of like about awareness, expanded consciousness, and like everything is related to flow of consciousness, and flow, like expansion of awareness at the moment for each being, as we open up, to this infinite sort of oneness vibration that once again is integrating, and once again is aligning with the planet, which it hasn't been here for many years. I mean, it's always been there in a sense that, because the source light creation and the infinite sort of like eternal moment and the oneness vibration has always been there, because it is everything. Like the source light creation is the manifestation and creation of everything, and everything works through the oneness vibration. And this is what we connect to when we're sort of linking from our source, which is the universal law of correspondence, where we're sitting in source energy, source light, source creation, source light creation. When we're sitting in that, we're opening up our energy, our source energy to the higher self, and then that opens up to the oneness vibration, that opens up to the infinite source like creation. Um, but this is why the universal law of correspondence is so important, and obviously, as with many, but it's I really feel like with the universal law of correspondence, this is one of the first universal laws that I felt when they started doing these kind of videos. This was the one that, yeah, a lot of the masters and I feel the infinite beings were guiding me to, because it's the it's where you sort of like start to experience and gain awareness of source light creation, and your essence and the vibration of your energy and your light, and how is the starting point to then open up, like I said, to start to connect the human self with the higher self, and the higher consciousness, bring them into alignment, and then bring them into oneness, and then bring them into source light creation. And all of this works through the eternal moment, and all of these sort of like parts of spiritual practice and spiritual consciousness all work in perfect union. Everything works in union, everything works in harmony within this infinite source light creation. And when we awaken to that, and this is why I've been talking about sort of like light workers as well. Light workers is this this concept, or the consciousness of, that we're all here as in light, as beings of light and energy, that are bringing vibrations of frequencies to open up, first of all, our own energy field, then to the like I said, to the higher self, and then to oneness vibration, and then to like source light creation. And source light creation is the eternal moment. That when you get to source, and you're living in source and the universal law of correspondence, and you're able to stay in that is being in the eternal moment, because you're open to source. And when you're open to source, you're open to your higher self and the oneness vibration. And this is what this time is about. And again, I've talked about this in the past. I've talked about Atlantis and Lemuria, and this is what was going on at these times. These highly spiritual ages of evolution were very much around the oneness vibration. All beings, and when people talk about like priestesses and priests of Atlantis, and people talk about past lives, and they talk about sort of Atlantis, they were using these crystal chambers to sort of like, I feel like it is to sort of like, a symbolic of like your source energy. And these crystal chambers, they would go in there to sort of like, raise their vibration to source energy and source light creation, to once again connect to that oneness vibration, to open up to the infinite dimensions of energy and light, and the infinite beings, the universal teachers, the masters, the angels that were working with many beings. And this is what they were doing in Atlantis. And this is what the universal law of correspondence is saying. It's like each and every one of us is symbolic of having that source light creation and that essence within each and every one of us as beings. But it's also, the universal law of correspondence shows us that although these crystal chambers were used, in a sense, in our human bodies, we've all got our own sort of like, essence and source. And the universal law of correspondence teaches us that we can remain in that, and that's how we remain open. They use crystal chambers. Universal law of correspondence is showing us that with higher awareness and openness, that we're all sort of open to that source channel, and each and every one of us can be open to our higher selves and the oneness vibration, and again the eternal moment. And this is what these teachings are bringing back. It's all about that. It's all about bringing in harmony, bringing in union, and remaining in that. It allows us to walk in light, express light. Also, sorry, 1 second. Also, very much so. The illuminated heart and like Lord Lanto is very sort of like relevant right now. Over the last couple of days, I've been having this feeling within my own heart center, which is again with this illuminated heart, which is again the heart center here, and obviously the third eye. And I see golden light through both of these, and again it's very symbolic of expressing that source energy, expressing it so that it aligns the external reality to the internal reality, that where they become one vibration, they become one frequency, they become unified, and it brings us into harmony. So then we start to, we're aligned with source energy within ourselves. We're open to our higher selves. We're open to the oneness vibration, and then we're expressing it within the physical reality to shift and change that reality and create a more sort of spiritual plane in the external world, which will bring the planet into harmony with the oneness vibration, source light creation, and obviously. So it's bringing everything back into harmony. Everything's about harmony, and this is part of what the vision was at the beginning. Is that it's an infinite flow that each and every one of us needs to open up to source energy, source light. I remember trying to write a book quite a long time ago called The Flower of the Soul, or trying to write like something around that, and it was to do with the soul. And like each of us are a flower that's open up to that source energy, which is like the sun, which brings life, it brings vibration, it brings frequency to all things, and we're all very much like that. That we're all these flowers that we're opening up to that source energy, and each day we can receive it. And the universal law of correspondence is very symbolic of that as well, of each of us being replenished and being sort of having vibration and frequency for that source light creation, that source vibration. It sustains us, it brings us energy, it brings us light, but it also opens us up. But it opens us up to infinite possibilities and infinite opportunities to create and manifest. It's about alchemy as well, and this is what this universal source correspondence is around, and the universal source energy, and also about this illuminated heart is about expressing and unifying and bringing the internal and the external world into one, because they interplay perfectly in perfect union. And this is what this conscious shift is for many of us at the moment, and that's the insight for today.